Thank you, sir.
Gentleman yields back. Chair recognizes Representative McBride.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Undersecretary Hooker, for being here today. I'd like to hone in on Secretary Rubio's decision to decimate the Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor, or DRL. Most USAID programs and all but a handful of human rights programs have either ended or reportedly have been transferred to bureaus that lack the experience in this work. You just mentioned to Representative Jayapal that the reorganization, quote unquote, of the State Department was not haphazard. But you also told Ranking Member Meeks earlier today, as of right now, there's no plan for absorbing the work formerly done by DRL into the regional bureaus. You said a plan is, quote, in process. That does sound like a haphazard reorganization to me. Legal requirements for reporting to Congress on democracy and human rights programs have not been relaxed by law, yet many of the staff and systems to ensure compliance are gone. So I want to start, Madam Undersecretary, how many State Department staffers and contractors have you all fired that worked in the Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor?
I don't have that number in front of me right now, Congresswoman.
So you don't have the number of folks that were in this bureau that presumably its work and they have been consolidated under your purview under the bureaus. You don't have a sense of how many remain?
From the nature of your question, I think you're interested in understanding whether these functions are continuing in the bureaus, and I can assure you that the functions are continuing in the bureaus, whether it's for DRL, PRM, foreign assistance, our CT functions as well. Each of those functions are being integrated into the bureaus of each of the regional bureaus that I am responsible for.
Well, to that point, if the work is still being done, I want to hone in then on the annual human rights reports, which are of great importance to human rights experts around the world. But going back to 2017, the latest that the country reports on human rights practices was published was April 22nd. It's now July 23rd, and we have yet to see this year's report. Can you explain this delay and when we should expect to see this year's annual required report?
Thank you for that interest. I'm happy to look into it. I don't have an answer for you at the moment. I'll take that back. Happy to report back.
Well, so it doesn't seem like the work of the Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor is moving forward if they're not releasing reports in the same timely fashion that they did previously. I want to move on to ask, on this topic, and of course these bureaus absorbing this work, and presumably it's in some form or fashion moving forward, although not clearly as rigorously as it used to. Since assuming your position, how many times have you convened regional bureaus to assess or discuss a major human rights challenge, or for that matter, any human rights issues?
I convene the bureaus weekly to talk about whatever issues they're facing.
And have you discussed major human rights challenges in those meetings?
I'm not going to talk about the specifics of our conversations with each of those regional bureaus.
You know, I got to be honest, I appreciate you taking the time, but I just don't know what to make of these actions, or quite frankly, inactions by the administration. Either this administration is appallingly indifferent to human rights abuses and human trafficking, as we heard last week in Secretary Regis's testimony, or this administration is trying to cover up and paper over the scale of human rights abuses and human trafficking around the world. And quite frankly, given this administration's efforts to cover up abuses committed by Jeffrey Epstein and other powerful men, it appears that there is a pattern here with this administration. The powerful get to do what they want, whether it's powerful men here or strong men around the world, and this administration will cover for them, and it is deeply disturbing to me. And I hope that these regional bureaus under your leadership, because I believe that you personally want to do this work, I hope that this administration will fulfill its legal and moral obligation to report on, to investigate, and to hold other countries accountable for human rights abuses. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.